What's going on, guys? Joe back today with another video. Today we are looking at iDrive 9. So this is introduced in the new X1 M35, designed for the X1. It's supposed to be a little bit more user-friendly. Obviously, since we don't have a iDrive controller anymore, we do have some buttons down here, such as My Modes, which will allow you to select what mode you want. You have this button here, driving settings, which will allow you to adjust all your settings and everything. You have auto hold, back of radio station, forward of radio station, volume up or down, or if you press and hold, it'll reset the radio for you, or reset the head unit for you. So taking a look here, first thing we'll do, we'll take a look at the driving settings. We have driver assistance, we have hill descent control, and lane departure warning, so you can quickly turn that on or off. Safety and warnings, these are going to be everything that you have here as far as your safety features go. Forward collision mitigation, lane departure warning, active blind spot detection, side collision warning, speed warning, exit warning, fatigue warning, speed limit exceeded warning. So if we click on that, we could go in here, we could either turn that on or off depending on what we want. And we could have it set with an acoustic warning or no acoustic warning. So pretty nice there. Speed warning, same thing. You can adjust here. You can set a speed warning itself as far as how fast you actually want to go. Side collision warning, go in here, you can turn that on or off. Exit warning, you can adjust your settings. So if you want expanded, reduced, or off, pretty convenient there. Fatigue alert, pretty standard. It's been on BMW for a while now. That's where you can go in here and change that depending on what you prefer. Looks like it has emergency stop on too. Scroll up here, forward collision mitigation, that is set on early by default, but you can adjust it depending on what you prefer or if you don't like it at all. Lane departure warning, you can go in here, you have enhanced in dangerous situations off, and you could turn steering intervention on or off. Which is super convenient. So anything above 40 miles an hour will help you. Blind spot detection here. This has steering intervention as well. So you have expanded, reduced, off, steering intervention, and then warning when turning. So we'll go back. So we'll go back in here. We have drivetrain and chassis. You have iconic sounds, which you can definitely adjust. Pretty convenient. The iconic sounds, I wouldn't say they sound good because it's a pumped in sound. We'll give it a sound check here real quick. Kind of hear that little bit of a bassy drum in the back there. Turn it off and it sounds like a completely different car. Now you could actually just hear the engine itself. So pretty different overall. And you can scroll down here, you have handling, where you could have active drive off support. Basically that just allows for difficult situations such as snow or mud to make it a little bit easier. You can go into the parking brake section and turn it on to apply automatically. And then you just have the vehicle identification number down below. So pretty nice there. We'll go back into My Modes. You have personal, sport, and efficient. Sport, if you want, you touch this little gear cog here. You can go in here and you can adjust everything as far as what you prefer. You know, whether you want driving dynamics, you want sport, sport plus, DSC off, if you're trying to use traction control or trying to use launch control. So pretty convenient there. Gives you a little bit more personalization. And then obviously as you change the modes, if I go into personal, it'll change there. Go into sport, it'll change like that. And the RPMs will come up a little bit in sport. It's kind of sitting right around, I'd say like 1300 RPMs compared to idling down where it was before. Last one we have is efficient mode. So that is obviously designed to get you the best fuel efficiency possible. So it'll definitely slow everything down for you. Taking a look in here on this left hand side, these are all going to be your functions that you can select and swipe through and see everything that you have, such as, you know, your destination, your Sirius radio, your phone, points of interest, your My BMW, which will show you all your information as far as how you've been driving, and then your current location, weather, and the clock. So really nice there, really convenient. The weather does look really good. If we go over here, swipe to the left, you'll see navigation and my modes. So you can set that up depending on what you prefer. Not as many options as on iDrive 8.5 with, you know, the X5 and X6 and X7 and other cars, but not bad overall. Hit this square down here. These are going to be all your information that you'll have. So up here you'll see all infotainment, vehicle, and recently used, which works out really good. You can go to your BMW ID, you can go to the connected store, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, BMW Assist, BMW Maps, which is just your maps. You just touch it, it'll open up for you. Climate control, data privacy. Data privacy does have a ton of settings in here that you can adjust and configure depending on what you prefer. So you have, you know, future mobility services, learning map, traffic information, online parking information, improvement of product quality, and a whole bunch more. Displays, this is where you could go into here and you could adjust everything. So a little bit different of a layout. You have cockpit brightness, you have heads-up display where you can adjust your height and everything, your instrument cluster where you can adjust everything there, and then your overall control display as well. Doors and windows, this in here will allow you to go through, adjust everything as far as what you prefer. You know, do you want your mirrors folded in on lock and unlock? You know, do you want flashing? Do you want flashing, you know, when you lock or unlock? Unlock the doors, etc. Anti-theft alarm, you could deactivate that once. Say, for instance, you know, you're running inside somewhere. Say you're running inside, you left your kid in the car, you know, they're older, you know, you left the windows open, but when they move around, it has a motion detector when you lock the car, so that'll deactivate so the alarm doesn't go off. Or if you're putting the car on a ferry and you're driving across, you know, a lake or something, and, you know, the vibrations of the boat will actually set it off as well. So pretty neat there. Driving settings, we already went over that. Exterior lighting in here. This allows you to turn on your headlights, parking lights, and then go into settings as well. You have FM, AM radio, interior lighting. So a little bit different layout for interior lighting. Light open when the door opens. You can turn on your overhead lights, such as so, just by touching. Or you can turn on all the lights, which works out pretty well. Ambient lighting in here, you can go through, you can adjust all your background color, you can adjust the color, depending on what my mode you're in, and you can reduce it for nighttime driving, etc. And then adjust cockpit brightness as well there. Keys, this will allow you to pair your digital key, so you can hit add, it'll walk you through the steps. Obviously you need to have the My BMW app and you need to have both keys for the vehicle in the car. So pretty different there. The key card, you can activate that as well in here. I have a video of that, I'll link it up above, and that'll help you out. And then vehicle key, obviously you can't do anything without a My BMW account. So just make sure you have your My BMW account and everything will work out pretty well for you. Live vehicle here, this will show you all your data. So right now it's just showing you how it drives, you know, your vehicle status. You can see trip data, everything in there, and go through. Tons of customization, tons of options of what to look at. Music, we'll get to that in a minute. Memory, a little bit different, but this just shows you everything as far as your apps, your user data, everything on your system already, you know, what your total memory is and how much is remaining. Mobile devices, that'll just allow you to go in here, pair a new device, connect it, you know, whether you want to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. My modes we went over already. Notifications, you can go in here, you can adjust your notifications. So if you want to go through and check that out, you can, but you can adjust everything that you want to see or hear. So if there's a notification that you don't want to hear, you can definitely shut that off in the system. You do have a built-in owner's manual where you can go through, type everything in, search for it with the search bar and everything, and make it pretty easy there. Open source compliance. This just gives you a general overview of the licensing information and everything. A little bit more than what I know. So, parking, that's just going to be for your backup camera and everything. You have your assisted view, which will show you, you can back up 164 feet. You have the panoramic view for the front view camera. You can show the rear view camera as well. And then you have your 3D view, which is in here. You can adjust your camera and everything. Go through, and it works pretty well. You also have your car wash view, which just shows you straight ahead. So that way you can line everything up and it'll show you as you turn the steering wheel. Also in here you have seat comfort, so you can hop into that. You can see everything for seat position 1 and 2. You can set everything. This does have an option for comfort exit. So now when you hook up your seatbelt, it'll automatically slide forward. And then when you're ready to exit and you take your seatbelt off, it'll slide back. It automatically uses the seat position and everything. You can hit seat climate control. So if you want heated seats or steering wheel, a little bit different, but that's just hidden in there. You have Sirius XM. We'll go over that. And under media, we have sound, where we can go through. We can adjust everything as far as our sound goes. This has the Harman Kardon sound system, so you have all the different options for sound and everything. You can turn on your sound confirmation and everything. So if you want to hear that, you can. Or if you don't, you turn it off. Volume settings, this will go in here. This has your navigation settings as far as volume goes. So if you're the person who wants to turn it all the way up, you can. If you want to turn it down, you can. No more waiting for the lady to talk, and then you have to adjust it there. Let's give you a volume reduction. You have your gong, your PDC for your park distance control, and your speed volume, which will work out there. Telephone, that'll mainly work once you have your phone connected. Vehicle status, that we already went over that. Then we have weather in here. So weather here will show your current location. It'll give you a 5-day, actually longer than a 5-day. Oh no. This will give you a hour by hour breakdown of what the weather is like. When's the sun gonna go down? What's the weather gonna be like? And you can change it to, you can go to, your future location, etc. Only available with the BMW ID, which you will get once you get the car and get everything set up. And then your service center here, this basically just allows you to start guidance to a service center, which makes it super convenient for when you're on the road. Let's go back in here. We're going to go to media real quick. So we'll go into media. This will have a different look for satellite radio. Definitely different for looking at everything. More of a search function and everything as far as what you want to search for. You can go to different categories. You can go to all channels, which is convenient. Kind of set up like how Volkswagens are, where they have everything broken down for you there. You can set up your favorites, so Sirius XM favorites, Pandora, etc. And then we'll go into FM AM. So FM AM, same as kind of how it was before. You just have the different buttons that you select from, and then you can scroll through and select whatever channel you want to listen to. And then you can drop down here with that drop down, and you can switch between FM, AM, or Sirius XM. You also have different shortcuts that you can select, so you can add shortcuts. So just by going through, so if I want to set this to add shortcuts, it would save, and then it would save in this spot right here where it says add shortcut, which would work out really well. So you also have your different buttons over here for media, telephone, and navigation, which are convenient, and you do have your back button. Works out pretty well. So hopefully that helps out, guys. Hopefully that's a good video for how to use iDrive 9, kind of breaking it down a little bit. If you guys liked it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.